Michael Angelo Batio, and I am here at Sawtooth headquarters. Specifically, this is the area where we record and rehearse. Hi, everybody. Hi, Denny. I'm about, 4 or 5 feet away, but I can read pretty good. And I'm also here with Kevin and Joe, the two main owners of Sawtooth Musical Instruments, ChromaCast, everything. But I'm here today at Sawtooth headquarters in beautiful, sunny Southern California. I was in some cold weather. This is way, way better. Man, I was in some really cold stuff. Anyway, it's beautiful here in California, sunny, warm. Perfect day to get out and a perfect day to play guitar. Now, we have a lot of new models, and I'm going to be doing a lot of live streams within the next few weeks that I'm here. And I'll talk about the show that I'm doing on the 13th with the Michael Angelo Batio Band. But first, what I'm playing, and Kevin, you can help out on this. One thing that Sawtooth has done is they've upped the game in every category of price point. And, we have the best guitars and value that there is in the marketplace, but it's gotten a lot better. And so over the next couple weeks while I'm here in California, we're going to be unveiling and showing you all these new guitars. But Kevin, do you want to elaborate a little bit on what I'm holding here?
Definitely. So what you've got right there is the Sawtooth ES series guitar. Now that is our beginner guitar, but it's not just for beginners, because now what we're doing is that each guitar is getting a complete setup by Joey and our other guitar techs here at Sawtooth. So you're getting a complete setup. Now, there are other brands that are out there. They don't do that. They definitely don't do that for any of the guitars, for any of the beginner guitars or lower price point guitars. So right now, we just got all of our ES series guitars back in stock. So they're in now. They're ready for Michael to sign. So you've got all of that. Michael can do all the signings and everything. There's a link right here on Michael's post that you can click on, and it's going to bring you to Michael's page where you can order any of these guitars that you see right here. Well, we'll show off some more of them as we go. Yeah, full setup. Not just, it's unlike any other beginner guitar, because what you have happen here is kids will get a guitar. Mom will buy a guitar for their son or their daughter for Christmas. They get it. They cut their fingers on sharp frets. They're having to press down like super hard too, and the strings aren't set up. Like everything's not set up properly, so it's an uncomfortable thing. You get our guitar. Not only does it sound fantastic, but it feels fantastic, and it's ready to be played right out of the box, no matter what.
Yeah, I used to make jokes when I did workshops at different stores around the planet, and I would go around and just look at other brands of guitars, and I see guitars with action so high and they were set up so bad that I make jokes that, and a hammer comes with the guitar too, so you can press down on the string and the fret. And because, it's like areas where let's use Robin Hood's bow. These things were warped. It's like this. But one of the other things, too, that Kevin was telling me is that with these guitars, the ES, the ET series, you can get a pack with that, too, with an amplifier, a really cool guitar strap, a gig bag. It even comes with a wall hanger. And in other words, it's like an all-inclusive thing: amp, cable, strap, and obviously the guitar. But the great thing about Sawtooth is that they can set them up right here at Sawtooth headquarters. And like Kevin said, Joey B, not to be confused with Joey M.A.B., and Joey B is the main setup guy, and he's really brilliant. In fact, between me, him, and Joe, the other main owner, we designed a new double guitar, and wait till you see this bad boy. We're hoping to have it to show you within the next couple weeks, and it will be available sometime next year. But getting back to these models, across the board, everything has been upgraded. It comes with a complete setup, and if you don't think a setup is important, try playing a guitar that isn't, where the neck is bowed, The strings are very, very high. It buzzes. It just sounds terrible. It feels terrible to play. And then, if somebody's a beginner, you get discouraged. You're like, this sucks, man. Guitar's too hard. I'll just play video games, man. Well, I like video games too, but I have to practice. And so when you get a good guitar that's set up properly, it makes it so much easier to play. And then the learning curve is like this versus like that.
And one thing I want to touch on too is that we definitely focus when it comes to these ES and ET series guitars on beginners, but it's not just for beginners because you are getting a true set up guitar. Now, one thing that people are doing too is that they're buying these and then they mod them too. So actually, Michael, if you want to hand that to me for 1 second and turn around right over there, you'll see this guitar right here, which is another one that we're going to start doing too.
I really love this flat black.
Yeah. Upgrading these guitars. So, something a little bit different too going on here. And we're going to be, throughout the entire time that Michael's here, we're going to be showing off a few more of these too as we go on because things are happening here every day.
Yes. And, people that follow me obviously know that I played Sawtooth Guitars for a while. They also make fantastic drums and fantastic basses and percussion. And one of the things, I remember going to Germany when they used to have a NAMM show, a big music show in January. Then a few months later, sometimes the end of March, early April, you go to Frankfurt, Germany, and they'd have the European version. And that's where I first started seeing this instrument called a cajon. And I can't even say it, but it's like a snare drum and a kick drum in one. And I thought these things sounded like doo-doo. I couldn't stand the sound of them. And I remember Joe, he's a great drummer. He's got one of these cajones and I'm hearing snare, kick. I'm like, this sounds good. And Bruce Dickinson on his last solo tour used Sawtooth percussion. Their drummer in Bruce's band is a Sawtooth in Dorsey. Their drum sets are fantastic. And so, the guitars are great. They have great bass guitars, acoustics. And so, it's a full range of instruments. And, but, obviously, I primarily endorse the guitars, but I can't say enough about the brand. And what we're doing now with these setups, it's like Kevin said, like I am playing an inexpensive guitar. The action's low. It doesn't fret out. So, and then I've got, I have the treble down a little bit. So you've got that. You've got this. We used to call it out of phase, but it's a middle position. And then this other one of the 5 positions. And then, of course, the neck position. It's got a really beautiful, crystal clear, clean sound. And it's set up great. I mean, I'm playing stacked fifths here. And if it was way out of tune, it would be. I'm goofing around. I'm forcing it to be out of tune. But the guitars play great. They sound great. And it's also pretty light too. It's not where it weighs 15 pounds, 7 kilograms of death like my double guitars. But and the guitars are in stock, drums are in stock, basses are in stock, percussion instruments are in stock. Because that happened too. I'll digress here and move back during COVID. We were one of the only companies that actually had instruments. Because the owners are sharp, they predicted what was going to happen and ordered accordingly, where most of the other companies were caught off guard. We weren't.
And I'll just touch on one thing really quickly too, is that we've had a lot of people talking about the electric guitars, and where are the electric guitars? Well, we switched where we were having them made, both our ES series as well as our more high-end series guitars. So you're going to be seeing a lot more quality upgrades on all of these guitars as you get them too.
Yeah, and one of the things that I wanted to touch base on is that when you see the Michael Angelo Batio band, I mean, the production of the music is stellar, and Kevin is a great vocalist. He was the original singer in the band, and you know, so there's a lot of videos on our app with him, but the production of what we do is really high quality. And I mean, Joe played when we did Man on the Box. That was one drum take. I mean, start to finish. There were no edits. There were no games. When we play, I mean, I'm a master of the click track. I've used a click since drum machines were invented in the 70s. I had a drum machine on a Lowry organ in my parents' house going, and I used to play drums and on, you know, the electronic drums, bass pedals. So I've been playing to a quantized beat for a long time. My own music, I probably have 7 or 8 different tempo changes per song, minimum. I mean, my songs move, but you have to be good enough to play to the click. What we decided to do with the MAB band, there is no click. There's no click track. There's no backing tracks. These are 3 musicians that play and sing. So right now the configuration is guitar, bass, and drums. Nils, the bass player, is the lead singer. He's got a fantastic voice. And so when you hear like the new double guitar solo that we released, Kevin edited it. He does a great job. He's the editing maestro. But this is a 3-piece band. When you see us live, we're playing a really cool club called the 3 Clubs. It is fantastic. It's right in Hollywood. It's around Santa Monica and Vine, if I'm correct. Is that?
Yeah, right around Santa Monica and Vine.
Yeah, and if you know anything about Hollywood, you know, you have Hollywood Boulevard, Santa Monica, Forget Fountain, and then it goes, Hollywood, Sunset, and then Santa Monica. Those are kind of the east-west ones. So you just go down to Santa Monica, Vine, north and south. You're right there.
It's right next to Netflix.
There you go, right next to Netflix. And so you can come see us play and then go there and watch a movie. But it is a really great venue. We're playing there Friday night, Friday the 13th in Hollywood. And you're going to hear some new songs, great vocals, some of my most well-known instrumentals, the double guitar, a bunch of different Sawtooth guitars. And you're going to see and hear firsthand how good the instruments are. And because I can't say enough about them. But with the band, it's very refreshing for me because it's kind of full circle. You know, for years I did one-man shows and I'd never cheated. No one, you couldn't say, oh yeah, his fast lead was pre-recorded, because it isn't, and it wasn't, and there's no reason to. And why should I? I would have been busted by now after doing this for 30 years. And so, but anyway, the idea is this. I played to a click track, all these movable tracks. I knew exactly where things were going to go. With the MAB band, it's organic. We can stretch out solo sections, you know, and the grooves are just there. There's no click. It's all organic, and you know, there's no backing tracks, nothing. This is what Eddie Trunk always talks about: pure rock music, pure music that doesn't have any backing tracks, no click track, no anything. But we are playing Friday the 13th at the 3 Clubs. So I hope to see all of you there. You will be there. Now, getting back to the guitars, what else can we
For sure.
talk about?
So these guitars, like the ES that you have in your hand and the ET series, which are the lovely body style right next to you too, $199.98. That comes with the complete setup. That's just the guitar. We've got Joe helping out right here too. Perfect.
Check out an ET.
I'm used to holding more than one guitar at the same time.
That's true.
Yes.
So that's the ET series guitar right there.
Yes.
4 colors.
My favorite. We're in 4 colors, so that comes in.
It's kind of like an
butterscotch.
aged pickguard too, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's an H-white pickguard on
Yeah.
the black one. Then we've got butterscotch blonde with a black pickguard, and we've got a surf green with another aged white pickguard.
I'll hold them.
And then we also have a sunburst with an aged white pickguard too.
Yeah, this is that surf green.
That's
Yeah,
the surf
this
green
is
right
one
there.
of the most popular colors.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's wild. And, you know, blue is my favorite color, but I love green with a guitar. And, you know, I just do. I think it will look, you know, if in fact, I've been writing some surf songs and I'm going to release them when, I don't know, because there's a lot of stuff on the docket right now. But I would love to use one of these or maybe one of my hybrids, but they're perfect guitars to play, and they get that twangy sound just like this. That, you know, that now that is the neck position there. That, and then of course that we call it out of phase, but it's not. Okay, yeah, let's hold this one.
Butterscotch.
Yep,
Yeah.
there's the butterscotch right there.
Cool. I love this color too.
They're all awesome colors.
Yeah, it's really nice.
So I mean, you could get these the guitars alone $199.98, but then you were also talking about the bundles that they do come with too, which it comes with a 10-watt Sawtooth amp, ChromaCast padded gig bag, so it's 10 millimeters of padding in there too. They're the best gig bags around. 12-pack of picks, wall hanger, access to the app, free access to the app, so that if you're looking to learn, it's got free lessons. Guitar stand, faux leather strap, Pro Series cable. The Pro Series cable alone has a lifetime warranty, lifetime guaranteed. I get people all the time going, hey, I think that this shorted out. Can I get a new one? And I say, yeah, no problem. Doesn't happen that often. But when it does,
Well, also too, they could say, wait a second, maybe I stepped on it, and maybe the solder joint went, or, you know, you never know what happens with cables. It's usually something simple. Very rare it's an internal break. But anyway, the guitars are totally cool. We are going to, also, as the new models come in, we're waiting for, they're here. So we're just waiting for everything to get delivered right here. And so then I can demo them for you. And I'm going to preempt this, see what Joe thinks about it. When the band rehearses, we have a few rehearsals. We'll probably end up putting on the camera, maybe playing a song or something.
I think that's a
you know,
great idea.
And so, you know, we're going to do some really creative live streams. This is the first one. It's an introduction to say, look at all the stuff's here. You know, the models are in. You can get them now. You don't have to wait. You don't order it today, and 8 months from now, you might get a email that says, you're going to wait another month. And so everything's in stock. And again, I can't stress enough about the drums, the Sawtooth drums, basses, and the percussion. One of the things that's, for me, the telltale secret or the benchmark barometer of a good instrument is how well it holds up when you play. Sawtooth is in the whiskey. Our backline is in the famous Viper Room. So what this means, if you're anywhere familiar with how LA works, and it hasn't changed since forever, since probably the Doors played the whiskey, they have multiple bands every night. So when you see the headlining act, there's a good chance 3 or 4 bands came before them. Not all the time, but that's the usual thing. And all those bands are playing on Sawtooth gear. So they're banging and beating the heck out of these drums 3-4 sets a night.
Every night.
Every night. And these people are raving. We're getting people, young bands, established bands, coming to us saying, man, this kit sounded great, or this guitar looks great, plays great. We are interested in, you know, we want to play Sawtooth. And I think that's the best way, because one thing is to talk about it. Anybody can talk, oh, I can do this, I can do, oh, yeah. But it's another thing, shut up and play, as Frank Zappa said, and then play the same instrument over and over. I've done multiple tours with Sawtooth Guitars. I haven't had any problems. And you would know, you would see the videos on YouTube. Why should I lie? I don't lie. There's no reason to. And you don't have to remember the truth. The truth is the truth. And so, but they hold up really well on the road. And like Kevin was saying, a lot of times people will buy a guitar like this and then upgrade it themselves. Well, we are going to be offering those tricked out upgrades as well. But these guitars, I mean, this guitar is set up really nice.
Well, that's the thing, too, is that that's the guitar. That's how these guitars are going to show up to you.
Yeah.
I mean, Joey set it up for you before we started. Yeah. That's what happens before we ship it.
Yeah. So, and I can just tell you, I have done thousands of clinics in close to 61 countries around the planet. I wish I would have had guitars set up like this. I had to play guitars that, first of all, felt like baseball bats, action this high, and that's where I got that joke. Oh, did you give me a hammer too, so I could press down on the strings? Because it was so bad, there was no setup. I've even had a store one time argue with me about a 7-string. I said, well, yeah, tune it to low B. You don't tune it to B. I'm like, what? And the guy was arguing with me, and he tuned it up to some stupid pitch. But see, I always used to carry tools. And so I knew that 99% of the time I wouldn't get it set up right if I got it set up at all. So I would do these real quick tweaks on it, and I had to do. I mean, I stopped arguing with people about it. I told you in another live stream where setup guys would try to tell me about Floyd Roses, and here I'm the guy playing it all over planet Earth year after year. So I'm an expert at it. But anyway, these guitars are set up great. You heard the sound of it. I can't say enough about it. Is there anything else we want to add?
Lefties. Oh, we forgot about the lefties.
Lefty guitars.
Every single guitar.
Yeah, every single guitar, with the one exception is the Sunburst with tortoise pickguard. That's the only one that we don't do.
Yeah, and this is another thing with Sawtooth. It's virtually every model, like Kevin just said, except for one. And the entire line is available in the left-handed version. And people say, well, what's the difference between the right-handed and the left-handed guitar? Well, one of them's right-handed, one of them's left-handed. There is no difference. And so, and it's only, again, we were ahead of the curve on a lot of this stuff. Even things like using Fishman pickups. Everybody was using EMGs. I have nothing against EMGs. I think they're really good. I just happen to like Fishman's more. So we started putting these pickups called Fluence all of a sudden, and everybody was doing like natural wood colors, and we started using matted finishes. Now, I'm not saying we invented the matted finish, but when people zigged, we zagged. When somebody went left, we went right. When we went right, when they went right, we went left. And the point is this, that, we're not really so concerned what other people do. We're just concerned about making the best instruments we can. And what we did is we thought there's a lot of lefties out there, myself included, and I play right-handed because I couldn't get a left-handed guitar. Well, now we can. I mean, if I was 10 years old again in the year 2024, I'd have my choice of any lefty in the Sawtooth line. And so, except for one model, and they have a lot of models. And so I didn't have that choice when I was a kid, which is why I came up with the double. So figured out I play left-handed. But anyway, so that's that. I talked about the show on the 13th. If anybody's in Southern California, in LA, and you can go to the show, the club alone, the 3 clubs, is awesome. The sound system is awesome. You're going to see a great set, other great bands opening up. And we have a special guest. He played with Smashing Pumpkins for, I can't say exactly, but right around 15 years, I think.
Long time.
Yeah, long time. Guitarist Jeff Schroeder, he's a brother, and he's played with us at other shows that we did at the Viper Room, and he's going to be with us too at the 3 clubs. So Friday, the 13th of December, next Friday, we're going to be there. No click, no backing tracks, pure, raw, extreme shred with great vocals and great grooves. Anyway, I'm Michael Angelo Batio for Sawtooth Musical Instruments. I will see you tomorrow and every other day. Bye.